Yo, what is good, YouTube, and welcome back to another JC2K video. In today's video, we're going to be ranking the best small forwards in NBA 2K22 MyTEAM on a tier list. Before we hop into this video, if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Help me push towards the 6,000 subscriber mark on the channel. I upload every single day, and I'd really appreciate your support if you haven't already, if you do subscribe. One other thing to note, it's possible I missed somebody. I know on the shooting guard tier list, I missed Ray Allen, maybe another one or two guys as well, but I'm also not doing a completely comprehensive list because that'd be a super long video. So I'm trying to limit these to 25, 30, 35 players per position so that I can have more time, basically, I guess, to review each player, and it's not an incredibly long video. So that is why there may be some players missing that you might think of, but really these are the majority of, I would say, the best small forwards in my team right now, the guys that I personally would run at the small forward position as well. There's going to be a lot of shooting guards and things like that that aren't on this list, but that's because those guys are guys I wouldn't be running at the small forward position specifically. All these guys are guys that I think are mainly small forward type options. But yeah, without further ado, let's hop right into it and start off with Poku. And Poku is definitely a very good card, no doubt about that, especially for an Opal. He's a very, very solid card. I think the Opal tier is a very, the B tier is a fair spot to put him. He's 7 foot with a 7'3" wingspan, so his size is elite. Hot spots are basically everywhere. 27 hops include limitless takeoff, posterizer, unstrippable, good shooting badges, quick first step, handles for days, and great defensive badges, including half rim protector as well, which is great to see. Defensive stats are very versatile. He's got good speed, good shooting, and good dunking. The problem that I have with this card, in all honesty, that holds him back from being in the A tier is the fact that the jumper isn't elite. Jump shot 30, even on very quick, is a tiny bit slow. Same jump shot as Scottie Pippen has. It's not an incredible jump shot. Quick dribble style with the pro size of Kobe escape and Pippen behind the back are pretty good zigs. Overall, he's a very solid card. I just am not as high on this card because the jump shot has a lot of other people, and I got to be pretty picky with these lists. I know DBG thinks he's one of the best cards in the game. I'm just not quite there. Solid card, not quite good enough in my opinion to be in higher than the B tier, I should say, though. I think AK is also kind of on that borderline between A and B. I think I will put him in the A tier because of how elite he is defensively. He is 6'9", so he's got decent size. Hot spots are basically everywhere. 30 hops include great shooting badges, elite playmaking badges, and elite defensive badges, especially incredible defensive stats, great speed and shooting, solid dunker as well. Has shifty dribble style, pro size of KD escape, and Pippen behind the back. So he's another card with solid sigs. Jump shot 98 on quick. Even on quick, it's a very solid jumper. Would like to see it on very quick, especially at this point in the year, and that is one thing that annoys me a bit, and that's part of why I would say I personally have him at the A tier. Honestly, that's part of why I consider putting him in the B tiers, because of the jumper being on only quick, but he's still a solid card, and I think he does deserve to be in the A tier, or maybe in the B tier. I might move him down. We'll have to see what happens. Anton Jameson is definitely not a great card. I don't think he's bad, but he's just not elite, and at this point in the year, when you're not elite, that kind of holds you back. Not elite size. Hot spots are everywhere. Sigs are okay, but they're not great. Jumper is also okay, but not great. Badge wise, he's pretty solid all the way around. He's got some good defensive badges like rim protector and brick ball, in addition to the perimeter ones. He's got some good finishing badges as well. Statistically, all the way around, he's pretty good. I think he's good enough to be in the C tier. I don't want to put him too low. Definitely a solid card still, and I think C tier is probably fair for Anton Jameson. Bobby Jones is the next guy on this list. Comes in at 6'9" with a 6'9" wingspan. Little short arms, but he's got good height. 3 out of 5 hotspots, 34 hops, include great finishing badges and incredible, basically perfect defensive badges. Handles with his quick first step, catch and corner as well. He's got great speed, decent shooter, and a great dunker. Jumper is pretty decent though. For Danilo Gallinari, release on very, very quick, is pretty solid. Quick dribble style, Kobe size up, Kemp escape is also very solid. Full court sigs aren't great, but he is a very, very solid card. Elite, incredible defender with a nice jump shot and decent movement as well. Pretty darn solid card. Bobby Jones is still very good and does deserve to be in the A tier, I'd say. I put Carmelo in C tier yesterday. I think C or D is fair for the small forward position as well. He has acceptable size at 6'8". Movement is not great, but it's not terrible, and the jumper is also not terrible. Here's the real issue with him at small forward though, is he's going to be spotting up from the corners a ton. He's going to shoot a lot of long twos off the catch and shoot instead of threes, which is very, very annoying. He's also not an incredible defender for the small forward position with acceptable but not elite defensive badges and stats. Great shooter, great playmaker, but stepping in from corners and not being an elite defender are pretty significant flaws at this point in the year when you're comparing him to the best cards in the game, especially at this point in the year where you're looking for those incredibly complete options. And unfortunately, I just don't think Carmelo Anthony is quite there. Danny Ferry is another one of those guys that's kind of A or B tier, very similar level card in all honesty to AK. As a Opal, he only has 24 hops, great shooting and playmaking badges, only 4 defensive badges, but thankfully they are probably the 4 best defensive badges in the game. Solid all around defender. He's got great size at 6'10", very fast, really great shooter and great dunker. And then he's got jump shot 98 on very quick, which is really really big. One of the best jump shots in the game for sure, so off the catch and shoot, which is really, really good. Quick dribble style as well. The rest of his SIGs aren't great, but I do like Danny Ferry a ton. I think he's a great card. Really do love his release as well, and I think that's why I would put him in the A tier, despite the fact that his SIGs aren't great, and he's only an opal, but still a very, very good card for sure. Fernando Martin, he's a tough one for me because I think a couple weeks ago he's an S tier guy. Right now, though, I'm not 100% sure that I would put him in that S tier because, okay, let me look at this list and see who I'd put over him. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I'm not gonna put him in S tier. I'm gonna go A tier for Fernando. Probably the best card that will end up being an A tier, or at least right there at the top of the A tier guys. And when you look at the card, he's 6'9" with a great wingspan, hot spots from everywhere, elite SIGs with the quick dribble style, Francis size up, which is very good, Trey escape, and Pippen behind the back are the best SIGs for that, as well as the Rudy release on very quick with a solid upper, elite playmaker, elite finisher, great playmaker with his SIGs, and elite defender as well. The lack of shooting badges is annoying off the catch and shooting, only an 83 shot 3, but with a shoe and a coach, you're going to get that up into the mid 90s. Just wish he had some Hoff shooting badges, and that's my biggest complaint with the card, in all honesty. He's an elite card, don't get that twisted. Still a very, very good card, but unfortunately, he's just not quite there to the S tier level where like a few of these other guys are. So for me, yet another A tier guy. A lot of A tier guys so far in this video, but Giannis is definitely an S tier. I think he's one of, if not the best small forwards in the game. Or even the hero version, who's not on this list, is very similar. Also an S tier small forward, 6'11" with a 7'4" wingspan, hot spots from everywhere, invincible stats and badges. So basically perfect stats, elite badges all the way around, only missing a couple of Hoff shooting badges like Chef and Limitless Spot Up. And then animations wise, Giannis release on very quick is super fast, and he's at a green, definitely a jumper I'm a big fan of. SIGs wise, not elite, but that's okay. He's an incredible defender, obviously basically perfect in stats and badges. He has elite dunks as well. The Giannis dunk, for whatever reason, is very, very hard to block, and his jumper is also elite. He's an incredible card, one of, if not the best small forwards in the game, and an S tier guy to me. James Worthy is a solid enough card, but not elite, very similarly to a guy like Anton Jameson. He's got good size. In terms of his animations, they're okay. Quick dribble style, Kobe escape is good. The rest of his SIGs though aren't great. The low release point of release 69 upper, for whatever reason, is that like chest pass release, and it's kind of annoying because it is low and that makes him easier to block and contest, but he's an acceptable shooter. He's got good defensive and finishing badges, just unfortunately missing some of those shooting and playmaking badges as well that would take him to that elite level, combined with the mediocre SIGs and the lack of a truly elite jump shot. That's enough issues for me to slide him down into the C tier. Tatum, I think, slots in around the B tier. Very solid card, but not elite. 6'8" with a 6'8" wingspan. The short wingspan is kind of annoying. 30 Hoffs is good. Really good defensive badges, shooting badges, and solid playmaking badges, as well as good finishing badges. Statistically, he's great all the way around. And he's got an acceptable jump shot. Not a truly elite jump shot at this point in the year, but it's smooth and easy to green. SIGs are not great, though, which is a bit annoying as well. He's a very solid card again. Doesn't have a ton of flaws, but a not truly elite release, not truly elite dribble moves, and not truly elite size is enough for me to hold him back just a bit and put him in the A tier. Now, Jonathan Isaac, I think I am going to put S tier, and that is because of his elite size and defense. Very similar to a guy like Giannis. He's got incredible height, great wingspan, hot spots from everywhere. He's got quick dribble style and Pippen behind the back, but the rest of his SIGs aren't great. But a nice fast release. I like jump shot 70 a lot, and he is also an elite defender with elite defensive stats and badges, great playmaking, shooting, and finishing badges as well. He's versatile, he's complete, he's an incredible defender, he's got elite size, a great jumper, really good card. I do think he's an S tier type of guy. Kuminga, on paper, is very good, but here's the problem with Kuminga. He's only 6 foot. Oh, he's 6'8". I thought he was 6'6". Well, never mind. Let's move him up a tier then. But I thought he was 6'6". I'm bugging. 34 Hoffs. He's got great defensive Hoffs, incredible defensive Hoffs actually, and great finishing. Good catch and finishing and shooting badges, which are good. Playmaking and shooting badges, I should say, and stats are solid all the way around. He's got the Giannis release on very quick dribble style with the penny size up, not a great escape, but Pippen behind the back. He's actually better than I thought he is, to be completely honest. I'm slacking on this card a lot. I did not do my research like I thought I did. Kuminga honestly deserves B tier. I was going to put him in D tier, but he's a great card. Definitely a B tier type of guy. Juan Hernan Gomez, or Bo Cruz, whatever you want to call him. One of the best small forwards in the game, the best offensive small forward in the game, got solid size at 6'9" with a 7'1" wingspan, hot spots from everywhere. 37 Haas include Quick, Kyrie, Trae Young, Pippen behind the back. So he's got basically perfect SIG. He's got MJ's SIG. The best safe dunk in the game, which is Quick drops off 1. The Ray Allen release on very quick is elite, and also incredible shooting badges, solid playmaking, and incredible defensive badges. No Hoff finishing badges, but those aren't really necessary. When you've got the best safe dunk in the game, 85 driving dunk is more than enough, especially even without those finishing badges. And the fact of the matter is he's got incredible shooting and playmaking and incredible defense. Just incredible all-around card. That elite safe dunk really is the icing on the cake that makes his finishing elite as well and makes him a perfect S tier type of guy. Kawhi is easily S tier at the shooting guard position. Unfortunately, I think his lack of size is a tiny thing that holds him back from being S tier and small forward. In all honesty, I think you could easily put him at the small forward position, and I think at S tier in the small forward position, and I think he's a great card. Don't get it wrong. 6'7" with a 7'3" wingspan. It's the wingspan is nice. The height is not amazing. Obviously, as an invincible card, his stats and badges are incredible. His release is also incredible, and his movement is acceptable. He's got that same quick drops off one, perfect safe dunk. This card is so good. I mean, he's an incredible option. I gotta be honest, he's an S tier guy. I'm gonna wind up putting six guys in S tier because I think Kawhi is so good despite his height. Such an elite defender, such an elite catch and shoot player. He's the perfect 3-and-D player, even with being a little undersized. His wingspan helps make up for it, and I do think he's still an S tier type of guy. KD, fan favorites KD specifically. A good card, good size, great wingspan. Hot spots are everywhere, but the problem is not elite dribble sigs with shifty, and KD sigs aren't terrible, but they're not great. The KD release is very good, but here's the thing. He's not an elite defender, missing some defensive badges, and that is kind of annoying out of a small forward. You want an incredible defender, and KD doesn't quite give you that. He is definitely still a very good card, but there's so many good cards in this list, and he doesn't give you enough defensively, which is such a crucial thing for a small forward, that I just can't put him in the C tier, higher than the C tier. But I will say, Invincible KD, and even Hero KD to a certain extent. I don't have Hero KD on here, but he's probably A tier. But Invincible KD is S tier. Sticks now with a 7'4" wingspan. He's got all the defensive badges he's missing except for Brick Wall on Hoff. Now elite shooting and playmaking badges. Moves better with the quick dribble style now, which is better than shifty. Sigs are still okay in the half court, and then the pippin behind the back in the full court. KD release is still great. He's a great card. Don't get it wrong, but I do think the level, just him being a much better defender in terms of his stats and his badges is such an important increase in a card. So that makes him go from kind of a mediocre guy, a C, B tier type of guy, to a S tier guy for me. Lauri Markkanen, he's probably one of the worst cards on this list. He's got great size at 7 foot, which is nice, and hotspots from everywhere, 21 Hoffs, but a good defender, great shooter. Defensive stats though aren't great, which kind of counteracts the fact he's got some really good defensive badges. Not crazy fast. Sigs are very bad besides quick dribble style, and the set shot 18 is not a jumper I'm a huge fan of. Same jumper as Hakeem used to have, Marc Gasol, Jokic used to have, guys like that. It's not an elite jumper. It's slow. It's one of the worst releases on this list, and comboed with him being a pink diamond, not incredibly complete badge and stat wise, he's just not good enough. He's a D tier guy. And another D tier guy is LeBron. As much as LeBron is typically a great card at 2K, this power within LeBron is just a bit outdated. He's been out for a long time. He's got good size, but only 25 Hoffs. Literally doesn't even have shifty or quick. He's got slasher, I think, is what the LeBron dribble style is. Only releases only on quick, and he doesn't shoot corner threes on current gen, which is incredibly annoying. Sigs are bad. Jumper is very mid, and the badges, despite being a great defender, still he's just not complete enough. He's just missing so much at this point in the game, especially in terms of his animations. He's just so far behind many of the cards on this list, and that holds him back a ton. Other LeBron, Invincible. I know many people would have put Invincible LeBron in S tier. It's LeBron. Of course, he's incredible. But here's the thing. Despite being an Invincible and having elite stats and badges, the problem is, even with quick dribble style, his half-court sigs, his size up and his escape are not good. And the release, despite being a very quick now and being an easy enough to green release, he still steps in from corners. So he's still got a couple issues without elite sigs and without that elite release that allows him to shoot the corner threes. Those two things are enough for me to put him in the A tier compared to the amount of elite cards that we have in S tier. And we're going to have a ton of A tier guys, because I'm not going to lie, we're sliding another one in Paul George into that A tier as well. Another elite invincible card. Better at shooting guard, but still very good at small forward. 6'9" with a 6'11" wingspan. Quick dribble style, pippin behind the back. His rest of his half-court sigs aren't incredible, but they're not bad. The PG release him very quick is a very good, smooth, easy to green release. And obviously, elite stats and badges as an Invincible. Another great card, but he just doesn't quite do enough for me compared to the top 5 guys. So he goes in A tier yet again. Dude, this is going to be tough because I got to put... I don't know. Popeye Jones, I think probably C tier, just being a pink diamond. He's not incredibly complete, but definitely a pink diamond I am a fan of. He's got acceptable size at 6'8". Hot spots from nearly everywhere. 21 Hoffs include elite defensive badges, 3 good shooting badges, quick first step, and some great finishing badges. Doesn't quite have the playmaking you'd like to see, which is a bit annoying. Quick dribble style, Levine size up is okay. Pro escape isn't good. His full court sigs aren't great, but the jumper is something I am a big fan of, and he still is a very solid card. Just not incredibly complete badge-wise. Animations aren't perfect, and he doesn't have incredible size either. As a pink diamond, he's definitely a good card, but he just doesn't do enough for me to put him higher than the C tier. We're going to have a lot of A tier guys, and that's another one in Rudy Gay. Another guy who's just very, very good at the small forward position. 6'8" with a 7'3" wingspan. Really kind of reminds me of Kawhi in a lot of ways, with his length and his player build being better than his height is listed at. Hotspots from everywhere. 35 hops include some really good Hall of Fame badges, included in terms of shooting, playmaking, and defense. Also slashing, stats-wise, very complete all the way around. Rudy release on very quick is an elite release, just like what I said with Fernando, but it's tougher to contest for whatever reason with the Rudy Gay upper, which makes him, honestly, I prefer that release to Fernando's release, despite the fact that they have the same base. Sigs-wise, not great in the half court besides the quick dribble style, but the pip behind the back is phenomenal, and his jumper is very, very good. The Rudy upper makes the Rudy Gay base so good, and he is also an elite defender with a great player build. Another elite card, and another A tier type of guy. Sean Kemp. I think I gotta go B tier for Sean Kemp. He's not great, but he's not bad. Really 6'10" with very, very good stats in badges. Elite finisher and elite defender in terms of his badges. Good shooting badges and solid playmaking badges as well. And stats wise is very good on the interior, acceptable on the perimeter defensively, and the rest of his stats are incredible. Really, the one complaint I have with the card, in all honesty, is going to be that jump shot 23. Even on very quick, he's got a little bit of a hitch to his release, which makes it ugly and a little harder to time, which is honestly by far his biggest flaw. Besides that, he doesn't have great sigs either. He's a good enough card. He's got elite size and elite defense, which is very valuable to small forward. Has good badges all the way around as well. He's a very good card, but the jumper does hold him back and probably makes him the worst player in B tier. Now, Raker is going to be our final S tier player, our 6th S tier player of the small forward position. Incredible card, 7 foot tall with quick dribble style, pro size up, KD escape, and pip behind the back, which gives him very solid sigs. Jump shot 47 on very quick is very smooth and very easy to green. Just a tiny bit easy to contest at times, which is a tiny bit annoying, but really good shooting badges, but also elite playmaking and defensive badges. Defensive stats don't jump off the page of you, but he's got the perimeter and interior badges, and also at 7 foot is going to be a great defender, great speed, shooting, and dunking as well. He's so versatile. He's got great size. Another guy I'd compare in a lot of ways to Giannis and Jonathan Isaac in terms of his versatility, his length, and it just being a really complete all-around card. Better playmaker than those types of guys, though, despite not being quite as good of a defender, and he's definitely still a very good card for sure. Now, Thurl Bailey is just another card who's really missing. He's missing too much, and really the biggest thing that he's missing, despite having elite size, he doesn't have great hot spots. Only 25 hops, not great shooting badges, great defensive stats, but not elite shooting, not elite speed. The fundamental dribble style as well, with terrible sigs besides the Kobe escape regard as well, is a big flaw. Quick dribble style in this release, which I already said on Jamesworthy I'm not a massive fan of. On very quick, on quick, that is a big issue as well. So mediocre release, very poor dribble sigs, and not complete on the stats and badge wise. Just another outdated card, and I think he does deserve to go in the D tier. Now, Tobias Harris, our second to last card of the video, is a very good budget power forward. Small forward, 6'9", hot spots from everywhere. 35 hops include 35 hops include great shooting and solid defensive badges, great playmaking badges as well. Pretty versatile card. Finishing badges that he has aren't great. He's got decent speed, great shooting, great dunking, and decent all-around defense. He's just a very solid, versatile card. He's got that same jump shot 70 base that I'm a big fan of on Jonathan Isaac. Shifty dribble style, Kobe size. The rest of his sigs aren't great, but I do think he gives you enough in terms of his size, his shooting, and his versatility badge-wise that he is still a very, very good card for sure. And then finally, we have Zion, who I will slide into the C tier. I'm tempted to put him D tier in all honesty, but I'm not going to. Obviously, we're going to look at the evolved version. He is only 6'7", so a little bit small, only 25 hops as well. The thing that's nice about him, though, is the jump shot 3 on very quick is elite. The quick dribble style with pro size up is great. John Wall escape isn't great, but the pin behind the back is very good as well. He's got great stats on the defensive end all the way around, slashing, shooting, and speed. Elite slasher and elite very solid defender, maybe not elite. Quick first step as well. Wish he had more shooting badges and more playmaking badges on Hoff. That would really help him out a lot. And honestly, without base 3, he probably wouldn't be in the C tier, but that base 3 gives him enough where I still think he's a C tier type of guy. and probably deserves to be in that spot. So this is my tier list for the best small forwards in my team right now. Let me know what you think of my list down in the comment section down below. Who do you think I maybe ranked too high, too low, or left off the list that you'd like to know my opinion on? Let me know about all those things in the comment section down below. Hopefully you did enjoy the video, and if you did, make sure you hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. I'll be back with more 2K content very, very soon, and I appreciate y'all. Peace.